which hero is the best from every major Marvel and DC team. Alright, let's get this out of the way with now. There is no objectively correct answer here, except my answer of course. This is about the impact, consistency, and, well, who actually makes these teams interesting. So for each team I am picking two options, who I personally think is the best character, and who I believe the popular public opinion is on who is the best character. Let's be clear again, I'm not necessarily picking the hero in the group that might have the best solo comic runs or movies, although my bias may show here, so that might not always be the case, but it is more focused on their impact on the team. I'm looking for longevity, how integral they are in the storylines, all of that sort of stuff. I also want to stir up some discussion as well. So if you think my picks suck, or you just want to tell me who your favourite is, I want to hear about it. We'll start the video off talking about some of Marvel's more popular teams, before moving on to DC. The Avengers. Captain America is the Avengers' backbone. Not the strongest necessarily, not the smartest, but the one everything falls apart without, in my opinion. He is the glue that keeps this team together. Every major Avengers conflict eventually becomes some sort of debate about Cap's values versus everyone else's. For better or for worse in the long run, it's up to you to decide. And that's also reflected in the movies as well, which, if we're being honest, Cap has by far the best trilogy of the Avengers characters, and it's not even really a debate. I personally wouldn't debate it. Now the popular pick, I think Iron Man might take it. He's flashier, he's more quotable, he started it all in the MCU technically, if we're just going by that. And, well, thanks to the MCU, he's the face of the team for a lot of people. But popularity doesn't really equal importance, and let's be honest, Iron Man was never this popular before the MCU came along. It's just a fact really, and honestly you could make that same argument for most of the heroes on this team, and there's a reason the Avengers weren't the biggest superhero team before the MCU came around, so I think the public might go for Iron Man. The X-Men. This is a boring pick because it's true, but Wolverine works in every era, every lineup, every tone, whether it's a team book or his solo stories. I know, we're not really judging it on that. It's a dark story, a simple story, he adapts, it's within the character's nature. That's why he lasted so long in the lineup, that's why he's still in the lineup, and he'll continue to be in the lineup. He's key to many of the emotional beats in both comics and movies, and while I do love me some Cyclops, Rogue, Gambit, you could list every character to be honest, I can't help but always go back to Wolverine as my favourite. Now the popular pick, also Wolverine, I don't think there's really an argument here. This is one of the rare times you may actually agree with me, though I'd love to see your thoughts on this one. I'm sure a lot of people might like Cyclops more, but yeah, I'd love to see him. The Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four only work when Ben Grimm works. I feel the recent Ryan North run in the comics also shows this off perfectly. He is the emotional anchor, the most human despite his appearance, the one dealing with the real consequences of what happened to the team. If you remove the Thing, the team feels like less of a family and more like your standard superhero team. Now, the popular pick is probably the Human Torch. Johnny Storm is louder, flashier, easier to sell, especially when you have mainstream audiences from the 2000s movies, where Chris Evans, who, you know, how popular he is, everyone loved, and if I'm being honest, it's very close between Ben and Johnny for me, and they're both just very deserving of being the best of the bunch in this team. The Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not going to pretend to be a huge Guardians comics fan, so this is purely based on the movies, and I'm sure a lot of people can understand why. Rocket Raccoon is the comic relief, yes, but most of the emotional weight of the team lands on him. He's the best of both worlds, and after Guardians 3, it's hard to argue that he's not the best on the team. I know it might be controversial, but I just love Rocket. Now the popular pick, while some might go for Rocket, I believe Star-Lord might be the pick here. He is the lead character. He could arguably, I know this is about the best member on each team, he could arguably be the best in my opinion as well. It's just I'm a bit more biased towards Rocket because I haven't read the comics. He is the lead, as we said. He's probably the most recognizable in terms of impact, and he's definitely the most important if we're taking the MCU into account. It's hard to argue if Peter Quill is your pick here. It's just, it makes total sense. It was very, very close for me. I just feel that Rocket embodies the Guardians more, whereas Peter could just as easily leave the team, join the Avengers maybe, and fit right in there. He's a human being after all. The Guardians are all aliens for the most part. I think that's my reasoning. And the team would be just as strong without him, but he is just as important. Now we move on to DC. I'm sure this won't be controversial at all. The Justice League. There is no Justice League without Superman. He is the key to everything, the center of most storylines with the team, the de facto leader and face of the league, and that's not even considering the fact that he's, well, Superman. I think DC does a great job of really balancing the importance of many members of the league at different points in time, especially when it comes to the Trinity and the Flash, for example, in key events. Though Superman is not only the standout in the team, he is probably the greatest hero of all time, so I find it hard to argue that he's not the best character on the team. Popular pick though? Batman. Batman isn't the strongest member, but he's one of the most relevant and probably the most popular. I don't even think that's an argument. He creates tension, he creates plans, he creates problems. All of these reasons even led to him leaving the team at one point. Most people will pick Batman here regardless, and I can't really disagree either. The Titans. Nightwing is what character growth is supposed to look like. Yes, I'm biased. I know he's my favourite character in all of comics. I've not made that clear at this point, apparently. No, he outgrew Batman. He left Robin behind, became a leader. He was even so important that he basically became the main character of the DC universe while leading the Titans after Dark Crisis. Like Superman, the Titans just doesn't feel the same without Dick Grayson in the team. Now the popular pick, also Nightwing / Robin. I'm gonna kinda lump both Teen Titans and Titans together here, and of course Robin, Nightwing is key to both teams. The Teen Titans cartoon probably helps with that also, and while I can see some going for Beast Boy or maybe Starfire, I think Dick Grayson would still be the popular pick here. Suicide Squad. This one's going to be a relatively quick one. It's Harley Quinn, whether people like it or not. She defines the modern Suicide Squad. She drives the stories, she drives the marketing. DC have made that very clear. The team doesn't work the same without her, which is why she's the face of the team at this point. Again, popular pick, Harley Quinn, no debate. I think I'll leave this one at that. Justice League Dark. I thought, why not add a team like Justice League Dark here to spice things up? And this one was very close for me. The likes of Zatanna and Swamp Thing really compete for my favourite characters along with John Constantine, but it's hard to argue against the Hellblazer himself. Constantine is the tone of this team. He's manipulative and morally grey, a character at times that you love to hate. A lot of conflict within the team is unsurprisingly caused by him, which is what makes him such a compelling character and the best character on the team. I also think the popular pick is probably Constantine as well. I think he's become popular enough at this point in the mainstream with appearances on shows like Legends of Tomorrow and his own show Constantine, as well as Keanu Reeves' movie. He's probably most people's favourite, but if you disagree, let me hear it down in the comments. And while you're down there talking about Constantine, why not tell me about your favourite heroes from the other teams in this video, and maybe teams that I missed off? Don't forget to like and subscribe while you do so, and I'll see you in the next one.